you can't miss this. I know you all want to build a home and you want to see what Michael Bone, or hear what Michael Bone has to say from D.R Horton, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Really, Mary?
Hey, it's Mary Bartos of the Bartos Group of Premier Plus Realty, and it is my delight to include and invite Michael Bone, Area Sales Manager from D.R Horton, onto this week's show. Super excited because many of you, as you know, there are a lot of inventory problems here in Southwest Florida and across the U.S. And people are saying, what happened to new construction? So, Mike, tell us, because there's a cool report that you have here about what you're doing in Southwest Florida. A little bit about yourself, what you guys are doing right now.
Fantastic. So thank you for having me. So again, Southwest Florida Sales Manager for D.R Horton. I basically handle from the South Fort Myers down to Marco Island area.
Okay.
So all the area that you're in here. So what D.R Horton is doing is, obviously we had this pandemic hit a year and a half ago, and everybody thought the world was coming to an end, and absolutely what happened is just the reverse. And real estate is booming,
Yes.
New construction is booming. So being one of the biggest builders, if not, we are the largest builder in the United States, we have decided to continue to move forward as fast as we can
Nice.
in new construction. Is it a challenge? It's a challenge for every builder out there. It's a challenge for Horton. With the buying power that we've got, we're actually buying stuff 6, 8, 10, 12 months in advance right now.
Which is fabulous.
So this report that you referred to here, so just in our area down here, this is in Southwest Florida region, this is just, we got over 513 homes planned right now that we've already submitted building permits for.
Which is great. Now, normally what, takes 5-6 months?
So a normal build time is 5 to 6 months, and what we're doing now is we're looking at 8 to 9 months. And so it's really not that bad. So one thing that we're doing, as I said with this report here, is we're ordering windows on stuff that may not start for 6, 8, 9, 10 months.
Yeah.
Windows are one of the biggest obstacles we got, because typically we could get windows in 60 days. Now we're looking at 7 months to get windows. So the consumer has to understand, they hear about the window problem, they hear about these ships being stuck in port and not being able to unload, which I'll tell you about in a second.
Well, this is a story you're going to want to hear, but go ahead.
So everything out there is a issue right now. So in the big global picture, we are busting our tails to get these homes done and get the homes finished for the homeowners as soon as possible. We understand moving, and we understand movers and everything that's coming into it. So as Mary talked about, these ships that are being stuck out in the port, so a lot of real estate companies around the country, as well as down here in Southwest, have done highest and best offers. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's happened with some of these,
for me as a consumer wanting to buy a home, highest and best, that's what you're talking about on that.
right?
So now what's happening with these cargo ships?
So with the highest and best offers with cargo ships, is what was happening is they were stuck out in the ports.
Yeah.
They were actually calling the big builders across the country and saying, you know, we've got 5 million board feet of drywall. What is your best price, D.R Horton? And we give them a price, and then they would call Pulte, and they would call Lennar, and they would call the other builders and say, give us your best price. So as consumers were dealing with highest and best with real estate, large national builders were competing with all these ships out in the port. It was absolutely crazy. Yeah,
Right?
absolutely crazy.
And so that you wonder about pricing and the struggles with getting a price on new construction right now. When can you price it? And then all the increases because of all these supply issues you've had, right? So talk about that.
So the major issue that consumers have and builders have, and we're in this together, we really are, and realtors, all of us are in this together, okay? Inventory for realtors, inventory for the builders, inventory for the consumers. So what we do, our philosophy on pricing is, are we increasing prices? We are, but we're doing it in such a respect where they're not huge price increases to the consumers or realtors or us.
Right.
So we look at our prices, and if our costs have went up $800 in 1 week, we're going to raise the price $1,000.
Right.
There are some builders that are raising them $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 at a whack. It's not really fair to the realtors. It's not fair to the consumers.
Right.
It's not fair to the builders or the builder salespeople.
Right.
So we try to keep them in line with what our cost increases are. It's not that we are trying to make an extra 30, 40, 50,000. It's that we're just trying to cover our costs and just keep moving forward the best we can.
But, you know, one of the things that recently I had a client's building with D.R Horton, and, you know, you guys start to give a house once it was in ground. Theirs wasn't quite in ground at that point. Now you're kind of moving forward with, you can price them out when you can estimate all the cost. Is that still the
Right.
case?
So before we used to do what's called to be built or from the ground up for
Right.
people. So now what we're doing to give a more accurate price and cost, and we can fix the price for the homeowner at contract, is we're not releasing homes for sale until they're basically at frame stage and the roof is on. So what that
Nice.
does is that buys us 2 or 3 months to get to that stage.
Yeah,
And we know what our costs are, and we can give a firm price to the homeowner. So because the biggest question homeowners are asking is this price good? Are you gonna hold the price?
right,
And so once we go into contract, unlike some builders, we are actually holding that price from the day they sign until they move into the home.
right, which is awesome. And the fact that you are really have 500 and some odd homes that are in various stages to the to be built.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have spec'd them out.
So we've spec'd them all out. We've picked out what floor plans are going on which lots. One of the important things for people living in Southwest Florida with our hurricanes and our weather is impact windows.
Yeah,
So several communities that we have way south here, we're including impact windows as standard now. So it was
Which
an
is
option
awesome.
and they could build it, but we know what people have bought. So we've looked at the last couple of years on what
Yeah.
options, and we've taken those options and packaged them in the homes. So when people say, I want impact, we can say, hey, we've already got those for you.
right, which is fabulous, because quite honestly, shutters are not fun to do, let me tell you. You know, I love, love, love what you guys are doing, and you've been doing this for a long time.
We have. So D.R Horton started over 40 some years ago.
Yeah,
Been the number one builder for 19, 20 years now. We're in 108 markets in 30 states. And Don Horton, who is our founder and president, CEO, started with $5,000.
yeah,
And the remarkable thing about him, excuse me, he flies around the country every year
I love this
and
story.
wants to see every single salesperson in every single community. And basically goes up and says, Mary, thank you
Yeah,
for working for me and thank you for selling homes.
love that.
And you don't see that with that big a company,
No,
publicly traded company. And this
Right.
is the head honcho CEO that flies around and introduces himself every single year to every agent, which is a
Love
miracle.
that is amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. And might get emotional here. Not too far from the truth. You know, one of the things that I love about D.R. Horton and, you know, selling in this area is you've always had a relationship with local realtors who have relationships with the buyers. And, you know, we really appreciate that, you know, in the real estate community, because we know you're going to give a great product. They're going to love your communities. And that relationship that we've built with them is going to go on to their extended D.R. Horton family. And for all the realtors, we say thank you.
Well, we do a ton of business with realtors and probably 80+% of our business with realtors. And realtors are just like family to us. So where a lot of people are just very skeptical of using realtors and this and that, we protect our realtors 100%.
Yeah.
You are such a big portion of our business. Your team, Mary, and all your agents,
Yeah.
you know, we appreciate the support. We have parties with realtors. They're part of our family. And
Yeah.
so it's not just the realtors, it's the brokers, it's the managing brokers, it's their friends, families, children, everything else. So it really is one big family. And we consider the agents as well as the homeowners part of the D.R. Horton family.
Well, we are super glad to be part of that D.R. Horton family. We've known your sales teams are just amazing, and why we have a great relationship, because they're easy to work with for you as a consumer wanting to buy. It's just an easy process. And don't we all want that when we're buying a house? Because it can be kind of stressful.
We do. And you know, one of the nice things about Horton is, although we are the largest company in the country as far as a home builder, each division has run separately, and we know problems come up with homeowners,
Yeah.
and we're willing to work with them. You know, furniture's coming early. We'll work with them on how we can get that into the house. Whatever it is, we want to work with them. We want them to be a happy customer and build
That's
2,
awesome.
3, 4 homes with us.
Well, for that, we're thankful. Again, I'm Mary Bartos with the Bartos Group of Premier Plus Realty, and Michael Bone, my friend's area sales director, sales manager at D.R. Horton. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it.
Yeah.